Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another video here on Rich Aesthetic. I'm Rich, and let's look at the new Apple Card savings account. Yeah, because I got that set up, and let's jump into the Wallet app to take a look at how to do that. So there are a couple things of note. You can't have the Apple Card savings account unless you have the, well, Apple Card, rightfully named, right? Apple Card savings account. Apple Card. It's all super cool. It's connected all within the Apple Wallet app. Now, why would you want this? Well, it's 4.15% interest, which is pretty high. It's not the highest on the market, but it's higher than the average. So I saw some comments in some of the different, videos or Reddit posts about this, and people are like, "Well, it's not the highest. I don't know why everyone's getting so excited." Well, I don't have the highest percentage rate in my savings account. So I'm very happy with this. Plus, you get the much nicer UI in the Apple Wallet app, so you can just stop using whatever credit union or banking app that you're using that's not some online first bank and have a more blissful life, pretty much. Have that stuff for the background, not for your foreground. All right, so in the Apple Wallet, you're going to go to the Apple Card, of course. Tap on the three dots in the top right and then click on or tap on Daily Cash. So once you're there, assuming you haven't already set this up and you're not just watching for fun, why would you do that? You'll see that currently your Daily Cash is going to your Apple Cash, but that you'll be able to set up a savings account, which is right there in the middle. So you're going to tap on that, and once you do, now your setup process begins officially. There's a little pop-up saying the 4.15% APY on your Daily Cash. Now, I don't know, the wording is a little weird. I guess Apple intends for this to be used with your Daily Cash, but you can still have up to a maximum of $250,000 in the account. So it's not just your Daily Cash that you're earning 4.15% on. It's any money you put into the savings account is making you 4.15%, at least for right now. Something else, of course, is that this is subject to change, right? So the next thing it's going to ask you for is your social security number, and cool thing, unrelated to the video, if you're taking a screenshot or screen recording and there's anything that, sensitive that you're doing on the screen, such as inputting a password or literally your life's password, at least for the US, it doesn't show that. I did not blur this out. This is just the way it's screen recorded. And I think I saw this before, but this is the first time I'm using it for a video, so I just wanted to point that out. Then, of course, you have the terms and conditions. You can access this later, too, of course, and it'll show you a PDF of it that you can then save or read there on the spot. Then it's going to ask you little IRS checking questions, so if you have any kind of hold on your account, some backup withholding going on with the IRS, probably don't want to lie about that, because in terms and conditions it does say if you're lying on any of your personal information, this would probably fall under that. They can just close your account, or at least pause or restrict your account until stuff is settled. So don't lie. Alright, so then it'll start doing a little spinning wheel, setting up your account, as you can see here. And right after that, it is going to give you a nice check mark, account created. Whoo, we got that dopamine hit, got another account, which has absolutely no value in it at the moment. So of course, the next screen is to put in your money from your Apple Cash card, which it does that automatically, assuming that all the money in there is something you want to transfer to savings, which in my case it was. So I'm going to hit transfer to savings, and it'll pop up with the classic Apple payment like processing sheet card style, where you're going to double tap that side button to just confirm the exchange or the transfer or the payment, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so it does that, and it's automatically in the account, at least on the UI. In the background, it might still have some things going through the piping, but interest should start accruing at some point this day, and then it will accrue daily, and interest will be paid out monthly, which is kind of cool. My bank does it quarterly, and also the interest rate is so low, and I don't really keep my money, and it's not a bank, it's a credit union. I don't really keep my money there. I try to invest as much as I can. Anyways, so there you are. You have your nice, wonderful savings account with all of the Apple UI, which is honestly my main motivation for opening up the account. The next thing, let's jump into, the different features of the savings account as far as like what we can do in the wallet app. So pretty much those three dots, whenever you see them, it's the more button. So you tap on that and you can see account details, documents, and then notifications. So let's jump through that stuff because it's something you might need to know. So we're going to start with notifications because I feel like notifications, more and more people are just saying no to all of them, but some of the stuff might actually be something you want. So the notifications here are pretty much just keeping you up to date with how your money's going. One, when the APY, when the annual percentage yield changes, you'll get an update, which is really cool. But then you also get notifications for when you get interest paid to your account, which is cool. If you don't want to know how much money is getting into your account, then you can turn that off. Because I can understand that getting the notification that you got, say I'm probably going to get if they're paying on the first of the month, which they probably will, it'll be like, I guess, $4, I think, would be what I get on what I currently have in my savings. So maybe for some people, like, oh, I got $4, and then that's more of a, incentive to spend the money. So if you turn that off, then you don't know, and you check back a few months later and go, oh, look at that, got a little bit extra money in there. So that is something you could, of course, do, whatever floats your boat. So then the first option in the more button little menu there is account details, and here you're going to see more mundane information and a more mundane view of what you saw on the first page, one including your balance without the graph and whatnot, but then also you're going to see the annual percentage yield information as well as the interest that you've actually been paid up until the day of you looking. Then your routing and account numbers, pretty standard stuff, and then also bank accounts that you have attached to your Apple Card savings account, which is the same bank account that you have attached to your Apple Card. Then lastly, in the more button menu, you have the documents section, which is just where you get your statements as well as your tax documents. So yes, if you open this and then you end up making any kind of money from the interest, you're going to have to report that to the IRS. Of course, standard stuff. So I mean, it's the same thing. It's a bank, right? So cool. Those are pretty much the full and specific details to the Apple Card savings account. Now, a couple things. I said earlier that there's a maximum of $250K that you can keep in there. I'm not sure as to the reason why they're limiting that, but it's not something that's going to affect me for quite a while. If that is a problem that you're dealing with, well, kudos to you. You've probably reached an extra step there in life. So very cool. Then the next thing, one more thing I wanted to mention is, there's no minimum balance required. And then lastly, if you want to pool, it's 20,000. You can't pool out more than 20,000 in a rolling 7-day period. So notice it's a rolling 7-day period. So if you're pulling out 20,000 on a Friday, does not mean on the next Monday that you can pull out 20,000. You would have to wait until, I guess, next Friday. Besides that should be everything. So if you enjoyed the video and got, something out of it, or set up your Apple Card savings account, or just got a nice introduction to what it is all about, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more videos like this one. Leave a comment down below if I did say anything incorrectly in the video, or if you wanted to add some other details, or if you yourself opened up an Apple Card savings account. I'd be interested to know how many of you out there have opened one. And yeah, until the next one, I'm going to make a follow-up video to this in maybe 6 months or a year time, just to show how it's going with, the interest rates and how much the APY has changed and how interest has been paid out. And so we can see that fun little graph, hopefully doing this kind of motion. So cool. Until then, peace out.